Hey everyone, Quietly Turning here. It's been about 10 months since my last video update on the Pittsburgh dance game space, and I figured it was time to make another. To give the broad updates first, there's 3 things that I would like you to know. One is that we've recently signed into another 1-year lease at the current location, so we'll continue to be here from February 1st, 2026 until January 31st, 2027. Past that, we'll see, but that's good news for everyone who comes here regularly. 2 is that, as I had talked about in my previous videos, at the end of this lease I would step down and pass off the leadership responsibilities, and that is true. I'm going to retire as of today, February 1st. So, and the 3rd thing is that Kirsten's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes to get the PGH dance game space recognized as a non-profit both in the state of Pennsylvania and at the federal level with the IRS as a 501c3. And she, along with Joel and Lamar, Crash Kringle, will be serving on the board of trustees and generally as the space's leadership for the upcoming 2026 year. Honestly, I really couldn't be happier with how this turned out, and I'm excited for what the next year will bring. So, as I prepare to step down from my leadership, I wanted to take the rest of this video to thank all the people that helped make the space possible. And I hope you'll stay with me through the rest of the video as I do that. I'm going to start very broad and get increasingly specific as I go, so. To start, I want to thank the local Pittsburgh dance game community. You take the time to walk, or bus, or drive here week after week. I know some of you are traveling in from over an hour away. I'm just so honored to have been able to serve you for the last 2.5 years, and the space really couldn't exist without you. Thanks to the Nest in Seattle for providing early inspiration. You know, I'd had the latent daydream of a physical place where local dance gamers could play the game and make friends since I moved here in mid-2017, and when I visited Seattle and the Nest in summer of 2018, that gave me the first real look at what such a space could be like. So, to Ezgi and to Ben, thank you. You showed me what was possible. To Aaron, thanks for being an early friend to me my first 2 years in Pittsburgh. Your enthusiasm for dance games was palpable, and I was so happy to show you the basics of pad modding and cab maintenance on that Supernova 2 cab at Victory Point. My first couple years in Pittsburgh honestly were pretty rough. I was very lonely, very unhappy, and so I hold your friendship during that time especially dear. To Duggan, thanks for being so consistently gentle in spirit and friendly. You and Aaron were the first 2 dance gamers I met in Pittsburgh. I have this fuzzy memory of going to Main Event out in Robinson Township. It no longer exists. I bussed out there in 2018 to play Pump It Up, and I have this fuzzy memory of meeting someone who was just a little bit older than me with a ponytail. He was really friendly and just so enthusiastic about showing me the ropes of the basics of how to navigate Pump It Up. And I'm so happy that I got to know that person better over the years. So thank you for being an early friendly face. More immediately, thank you for contributing the coat rack to the space. It definitely gets used every single meetup. To Brittney, aka the Galaga ship. Thanks for coming into my life at a time when I really needed a friend very much. Thanks for supporting me in the upside down hours of the night, defending me against drive-by comments on Facebook, and talking to me about creative stewardship. The time that you expressed it as, we worked on the projects we did because we could, and because we knew that if we didn't, no one else would. That really stuck with me. In you, I found not only a friend, but also understanding. Thank you. To Nicole, thanks for bringing those homemade biscuits to your very first meetup. They were so tasty and they left such a strong impression on me. I'm glad that you were able to find some friends and some fun times here at the space as you wrapped up your time in Pittsburgh. Thanks for continuing to share cozy art with me in the years since. It's helped me out. To Fredo, thanks for consistently bringing cookies and homemade baked goods to every meetup. There were many times when I was just running around like a madman trying to take care of too many things, and I made the decision not to eat dinner because I figured, well, Fredo's probably gonna bring homemade baked goods and they'll be delicious. And every single time I bet I guessed right. So thanks for dinner a lot of the time. To Wilson, thanks for helping out with various handyman type projects around the space, such as the countertops and providing a radon detector. To Aaron and Elena, thank you for inviting me and many other Pittsburgh rhythm gamers to your wedding. What a beautiful day that was. I'm so happy we could celebrate it with you. To Malory, thanks for being so eager to help out around the space every time you're here. My earliest memories of you are the two of us in this room breaking down cardboard boxes while everyone else was out playing dance games over that way. Thanks also for introducing me to shiny metallic nail polish. It was truly eye-opening. To Nate, thanks for consistently showing up to help move heavy equipment when I put out the call for help. I mean, you were there when we moved the very first DDR cab. You were there when we moved the first ITG cab. You were there when we moved things out for the DDR-barbecue. Each of these were like heavy lifting sorts of tasks, and we absolutely benefited from having you there. On a more personal note, thanks for introducing me to such interesting music through your YouTube channel. To Paul, thanks for being you and implicitly teaching me a little about confidence and self-love. Thanks for drawing such silly little guys for my peacock step chart. Thanks for rapid fire sketching 2 more on napkins on the spot when I mentioned I was coming up short for the song's duration. To Jay, thanks for introducing me to so many rhythm and fighting games. Your passion and enthusiasm are self-evident, and I've learned a lot by listening to you. Thanks also for helping with cooking at the DDR-barbecue. You made a very good day that much better. To Monty, thanks for bringing your approachable, down-to-earth energy to the space. I appreciate that you clearly enjoy and want to improve the dance games, and that's good. But I've also seen how you're clearly in tune with the sensitivities of the people around you. I've watched you help new players navigate Simply Love. I've seen you congratulate Joel on DDR accomplishments, and I've seen you listen to others. These are very good qualities, and I'm happy you have seen fit to bring them to the space. To Ian, aka ax.lemon, thanks for bringing those mashed potatoes to the Spaces meetup in mid-December. They really hit the spot on a night when I was running on empty. To Tyler F, thanks for bootstrapping my earliest efforts with dance games in Pittsburgh by providing the initial set of pump and ITG pads. They helped me tremendously when I was just getting started and ensured that I didn't have to start from scratch, so thank you. To Hazel, thanks for mixing a bunch of my songs way back in the day. I'm so happy that we could reconnect many years later here in Pittsburgh. To Lacie, thank you for being the strongest person I know. To Ellie, thanks for forgiving me. To Catherine, thanks for standing up for yourself and what you know to be right. I hope you're doing well. To Orenda, thanks for geeking out with me late at night as the rest of the world sleeps. I've said before that you're like a Ghibli protagonist, equal parts strongly held convictions and compassion, and I'm so glad I know you. To Steph and Sage, thank you for hosting a Girlpocalypse event here at the space in 2025. I'm so glad we could open our doors to you, and I hope we can do it again. To CJ, thanks for organizing that final meetup at the Harrisburg Mall. That was a really good day, and I'm glad we could do it. Thanks also for bringing Sound Voltex to the DDR-barbecue, and more recently for donating your signed ITG for PlayStation cart to the space. To Eliot, thanks for helping give people rides so often, and for always helping out around the space when I ask. To Steven, LazerLord, thanks for getting great photos at Lefts. To Nick, thanks for helping Lamar run Lefts. To Justin, aka Saucy, thanks for hosting a handful of meetups across 2025 and for bringing your enthusiasm for board games to the space. To the other Justin, thanks for helping implement multi-threaded cash generation in ITG Mania when I asked about it. You joined a small group of about 20 people who contributed to ITG Mania in 2025, and your efforts improved the game for tens of thousands of users across the world. To Cathy, thanks for being my friend over time. Most recently, thank you for contributing to both of my step chart submissions to Lefts, with both your artistic and your localization skills. I've been really happy to see you around more recently. To Matt Vanston and Matt Magden, thanks for being my friends for over 20 years, dance games and otherwise. We live very far apart now and don't get to see each other so often these days, but I'm so glad to still have you as friends. To Andrew Park, thanks for all the early help you gave Simply Love at a time when it was otherwise pretty much just me, and thanks for sticking with me over the years and continuing to be my friend. Your honesty and your willingness to help me remain as strong as ever. To Jacob, aka Draner, thanks for bringing your particular flavor of soft-spoken empathy to the space, whether we've been hanging Christmas lights in the stairwell or sitting on the couch between sets of ITG. I've appreciated every conversation I've had with you. To Matias, thanks for having so many conversations about so many different topics with me at the space. Particularly when we've talked about autism spectrum, I really feel like I've learned a lot by listening to you, and I've always come away from the conversations feeling better. To Andrew and Christina, thanks for organizing events outside the space, like ice skating or the cherry blossom picnic, and thanks too for giving people rides home after meetups so many times. To Christina, I'm glad I got to know you through the space. In you, I have found kindness, understanding, and a relatable perspective on life. To Zach, thanks for being my friend in Pittsburgh the last couple of years. Thanks for driving places with me, for walking through the forests with me, for climbing with me. Thanks for all the late night conversations as we've been walking. I've really enjoyed seeing the creative Web 1.0 inspired project you've been working on the last couple of months, and I'm happy to see you so excited about it. I think enthusiasm is best passed along, and I'm glad that you're currently vibing in that space. To Lane, I'm glad I got to know you. We seem to overlap on how we think about topics like community engagement and creating safe spaces. You are exceptionally articulate, and you've helped me refine my own words just by speaking your own heart. The day that you said, the space is more than the sum of its arcade machines, that lives rent-free in my mind. To Pat, you have a sweetness and a sincerity that is as uncommon as it is good, and I hope that the people around you mirror it back at you. Thanks for bringing that sweetness and your music to the space. To Ian, aka Archi, thank you for being the driving force behind the stamina community. I have been running the Pittsburgh dance game space for the last 3 years, and I am ready to retire. You've been doing stamina for I think 15 at this point. I don't know how you do it, but I'm so grateful that you do. I'm happy the space was a good fit for in-person stamina events in 2025, and I'm looking forward to 2026. To Liz, thanks for organizing some really creative side events during StaminaCon 2, like the pumpkin finding contest and the costume contest. Did you know that I'm still finding pumpkins as of like 2 weeks ago? Look! To Vidur, thanks for building so much custom hardware to help out the space. I'm talking about the stand-on boxes in front of every arcade machine, the countertops and the drawers over by the kitchen, the shelves that are under the stairs. You've done all of that. You've also helped repair so many like extremely specific, extremely custom problems that we'd bumped into with the dance game hardware, like fixing these bars and bending them back into shape with a hydraulic press, or drilling out this busted screw hole inside the DDR pads, and with threaded inserts, on and on. You have seemingly endless hands-on experience and knowledge, and I'm extremely lucky that you've been around to help out. To Jenn, thanks for being my friend over time. Thanks also for recommending so many good books. Through Murakami and Kundera, Harpman and Abe, I am better read and a better person because of you. Your mind is a beautiful thing. To Jessie, aka Silver, thanks for being my friend. Thanks for howling at the moon with me and letting me break into unexpected poetry recitation the wee hours of the morning. I hope one day you taste the sun. To Sujeet, thanks for directing both Simply Love and ITG Mania as lead developer. You have an almost perfect blend of being extremely knowledgeable, extremely patient with people, and you have a very concrete vision of the thing you're trying to build. I honestly couldn't imagine having a better successor on both of those projects, and to be honest, you've taken them much further than I ever did or could have by opening them up to community contribution. Unrelated to the Pittsburgh dance game space, but I wanted to take a moment to explicitly thank the many people who forked the Simply Love project prior to 2021, when I was still the lead maintainer of it. This includes efforts like Waterfall by Snowman or Digital Dance by Aoreo, which started as forks but eventually fully blossomed into their own distinct projects. Also, other forks like Serena's Simply Love Vertical, Horsey's Simply Love, 48 Productions, Simply Potato, S.A. Hunt's Simply Arrows, projects like Simply Unprofessional, on and on, to the many, many creative people that had an idea and then tinkered with Simply Love. Thank you. I can appreciate that my online persona at that time was prickly, at times even abrasive regarding my work, and I want you all to know that you handled me better than I would have handled myself, so thank you. Many years later, many commits removed from leading Simply Love, when I no longer feel the responsibility of saving open source dance games resting squarely on my shoulders, I can much better appreciate the creativity, the open source spirit with which each of you forked and made Simply Love your own thing. It's honestly the same spirit that got me tinkering with Moonlight in the early aughts myself, which would eventually become Simply Love. And so I wish to be very clear right now that everything all of you collectively worked on, it was good. Thank you. To Amy, thanks for leading the AAPI Women and Non-Binary People of Pittsburgh for the last 3 years. I've already spoken to you about this, but I'll repeat it here so a broader audience hears it as well. I know very well that these kinds of communities don't just happen. They are the result of people, or more often, someone, putting in hours and hours of effort behind the scenes, making plans with locations, scrutinizing your phrasing for a social media post, booking for reservations, suddenly paying for things out of pocket when the need arises. All sorts of constant, grindy, tedious details that need to happen somehow for the community to continue. And to do all of that while being aware of your own very visible role as a leader, to do that while wearing a smile even on the days you don't want to, thanks for being that someone to a group of people for a while. I appreciate you so very much. To Cody, as I grew busier with the space and more distant from dance games over the past 3 years, thanks for keeping me engaged with this hobby through our shared interest in doubles and our shared interest in the never-ending quest for the perfect dance game shoe. Thanks especially for running 2 local events, both an Extreme Pro tournament and the Trans Rights Supernova tournament. They were both really good, really special nights that all the local players enjoyed. So thanks so much for running those. To Lilac, Thanks for giving me so much hands-on help in the summer of 2023. There were many, many afternoons that summer when it was just the two of us working on dance game hardware at the space. Each of our lives got busier in the years since, and though I see you less often these days, I hold those early memories warmly. Thanks for talking with me so straightforwardly and earnestly over the years. Honestly, I've learned a lot about communication by listening to you. Most recently, thanks for all the cat photos. To Kirsten's Aunt Kim, thanks for having me over so many times. Your house, with 4 generations gathered under one roof, playing Jeopardy together, loudly playing board games late into the night. I had never experienced anything like it before, but I immediately understood what you'd done by establishing a physical, shared space that everyone was encouraged to grow out of, but also to be safe to fall back on. You'd established a safe home base. Really, you changed how I think about concepts of family and how I look at the world. Thanks for helping me grow. To Jeremy, thanks for being my friend over time. The thing about being friends with someone for so long, across multiple cities and multiple chapters of each of our lives, is the understanding with one another that we've reached. We can deep dive into distant memories that no one else was even present for, just as we can wave our hand and not explain anything and go, oh, like, you already get it. I don't have to explain it. So, thank you. Thanks for sticking with me. To Greg, thank you for all the hands-on support and as well as the emotional support you've given me over the past many years. I honestly cannot count the number of times I have sent you a message. Do you have insert tool here? And you have come by with that tool within a couple of minutes, within 30 minutes. You've shown up, you've brought it. You've helped me fix so many things. Sincerely, the space would not exist without you. So, thank you. To everyone else who's watching this video, when you see Greg, please say thank you to him. Finally, the 3 Board of Trustees members for the space, starting with Joel. Joel, thank you for bringing your eagerness to the space. I have observed the eagerness with which you throw yourself at DDR doubles, and it is matched by the eagerness with which you want to help other people enjoy the game and you want to build a community, and these are beautiful qualities about you that I appreciate so dearly. Please keep being you. I know that when I play a step chart that I don't enjoy, I can be pretty negative about it. Honestly, in those cases, I've only seen you reflect positivity back at me. I stand to learn a lot from you, so I couldn't be happier with having you on the board for the upcoming year. To Lamar, you are a truly upstanding young man, one I could not be happier with to have leading the space going forward. You have humility, you have humor, you have integrity, all the good qualities that I can think of in a person. You embody them. I have learned so much by listening to you. Thank you for trusting me enough to let me into your life. Thank you for wanting to run the space. Thank you for wanting to see the space grow. I know that you will bring a vision and a passion that I cannot to the space, and I'm so excited to see the ways in which it grows under your leadership. Finally, Kirsten. Kirsten, you have unwaveringly, unerringly, consistently supported me across this crazy endeavor for the past 3 years. Whether we were doing it together, I have memories of us modding the very first pair of DDR pads we got. You were helping me tape mod, back when all the cabs were in the other room. Or whether we were doing things separately, like when you left the ITG at the fountain that night and you went and got pizza for everyone so that we could eat. You have consistently supported my crazy vision for this place. And honestly, I couldn't ask for a better partner in that. You have at times very literally been my partner in crime. You've been very good to me. You've been very good to the space. You've been doing so much work. I've seen all of the work you've been doing on writing the articles of incorporation and writing the bylaws and filling out all of the paperwork and doing the research. The space could not continue without this work that you're doing, so truly the community is in your debt. Thank you. I love you very much. To everyone who's listened this far, thanks for coming along with me on this journey. Thanks for coming to the meetups at the space that we've hosted here. It's been an interesting 3 years, but it's been a good 3 years. At this point, I'm going to retire and take some time off for myself, but I hope that you continue to come to the space in 2026 and support the new leadership and help them grow the space. So, I'll see you around. Thank you for playing.